Yep, that's right. We're live, and yeah, to those of you, we'll spend a couple of minutes up front, just sort of letting people log on. But to those of you who were here and are just logging in, or were here yesterday, thank you for returning. And yeah, no, thank you to Lazada for setting this up. It's part really of our urban ashrams outreach, especially during times like these, that we really are looking at mental health. Um, how it's not so. What's important, of course, is we survive, but we have to survive whole up here. And part of that is really coming up with mental tools and mental disciplines so that we can start. What's the word for it? We can start changing the way we think about things and the way we see things. And our belief, of course, is that ultimately it makes us want to, what's the word for it? It makes us want to, it makes us, it gives us this chance to control the outcomes that we're looking at. Give me a second here and see if this is working properly. I have no idea what end beauty means, but you don't want to do that. Okay, here we go. And right, okay. So, for those of you who tuned in yesterday, we know that we are going to be talking about positivity and also just how to start looking at our habits. So let's review what happened yesterday for those of you who weren't here and for those of you who were. Before we begin, just a special welcome. Maayong pag-abot sa inyo mga Bisaya. There was quite a bit of response yesterday, so that's good. Kay tanaw na kukuha gid ang siguro mga yoga teacher na to or sa kibang Bisaya. Pero Bisaya is much more global now, and people are all over the place, and it's nice to have again some sort of identity still. I have a sidekick today, just sort of very lazy one. Akong iro si puti, ngano puti man kay di ko kabaw kung sa brown sa Bisaya. Yeah, Bisaya kang iro. Pero very good meditation partner and very good company always. Okay, so let's review. And yesterday we were talking about how, one, that positive mindsets can change outcomes. And that's very important in everyone's life because we all want a positive outcome, right? But what if, again, we can control that outcome by how we think? And we say, gusto ko, I want something to happen. No? And yet we start worrying too much about all of the things that can go wrong. And that, as we talked yesterday, that was an animal reaction. These are things that fear and anger, these are things that animals feel because that's how they're set up to survive. But when it's something that is really just opportunities or even just relationships, something that won't kill you, can we move away from fear and anger? Can we start controlling our thoughts? Okay. Just heard a battery warning. Should be alright. Okay. Now, fear and anger are animal reactions. Ultimately, though, these are actions that get us into trouble, and we start getting bound by these actions. You can't really move anymore because you're always in fear. No? So the main thing right now is to start encouraging positive habits. Why? Positive thoughts and creating the habit of positive thought. So as homework, let's start with homework. One of the things that I think you can do at home or first thing in the morning is start noticing how many thoughts are negative. And very important is actually the first negative thought that you feel in the day. And just noticing. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to feel bad about these things because these are things that will always keep happening. I've been practicing for a long time, but until now, I still get the thoughts. And this morning I thought to myself, okay, I'll go back to that old practice. I'm going to start counting my negative thoughts. And in all honesty, it's easier to start changing your mind about things and starting being positive than counting, because you'll never run out. First text pa lang, 9 o'clock meeting that you're not really ready for or weren't really expecting, but you should be. You can turn that into a negative or a positive thing, right? But initially it's a negative thought. Oh, I have to do something, right? And always, we all think that way. Oh, I have to do something. I don't want to, right? Because there's something nicer to do. Anyway, so these are the things that become habitual. And just by noticing the habit, we start changing the habit. Again, very important. Once you want to change something, just notice it. And things start shifting and changing. So, now, let's go further today. And again, we're going to go deeper into what we began yesterday. So, remember the desiderata? So, my broken iPad, I'll put that away. So, those of you who aren't familiar, it's this poem that's supposedly by Anonymous. Daming ginawa ni Anonymous, no? But the desiderata is a poem, and it starts with this very powerful sentence. It's go quietly amongst the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. And if you think about that, and for me it was very powerful the first time I said that, it really ties into what we're talking about now. How do we cultivate stillness of our own thoughts in this world that's moving? And not only a world that's moving, it's a world that's pulling you and making you think, oh my God, what am I going to do today? Well, it keeps us in this animal mind. And again, how do we cultivate that? And I thought to myself, I want to one of these days go quietly amidst this noise and the haste. And that's really about how we can maintain our stillness. And really, I think the most important thing is, and I'll tell you the secret right now, maybe nobody has ever told you this, and certainly nobody told me this. You are the center of the universe. You. Not me, not the other people around. You. So, if you are the center of the universe, everything revolves around you. And I'll tell you, when you're gone, this universe is gone. It's not there anymore. This is all just this illusion that you're living in, but you are the center. And we forget that we are the center. Sometimes it's just about trying and figuring out that we can move towards the center, that we can discover our own center. And that once we do, we realize that we can change everything around. So initially, let's just do a very quick centering exercise. And remember, for the next couple of days, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, last life, it's fortitude, confidence, and courage. Right? And why is this? Because ultimately, what stops us from discovering ourselves is really these. It's fear. We're worried about what we'll find out once we start going a little bit deeper. But we have to start meeting it with that. Just as we meet external threats, things like that. And once we know that we have that fortitude, courage, that confidence to do that, then we can remain positive rather than, this is going to overwhelm me. Okay, so just placing your hands on your lap. And again, I'll remind everyone, keep a very straight spine when you are doing this. And that just allows the energy to flow freely, but it's also just good posture. So you look better on your screen, right? Anyway, sit up tall. If you can tilt forward with the body a little bit, just so that you're seated on your seating bones. And then pressing down on the hands. And then allowing the breath to come in through the nose. Opening the mouth. Whispering the breath out. Lift the diaphragm. Inhaling through the nose. As you exhale, lift, pull in the belly, draw the diaphragm in. closing the eyes. Inhale through the nose. Draw the breath down. See if you can find the pelvic muscles. The belly broadens, the diaphragm broadens, the chest broadens. Exhale, closing the eyes, just allowing the attention to start falling in. And you can continue with the breath gently. As you're breathing, just beginning to bring all of the attention to the spine. Just feel how the tailbone presses down against the seat. And from that tailbone, see if you can squeeze the muscles around that a little. And then lift upwards and in. And see if you can bring that feeling up into the upper spine and middle spine. Beginning to draw the attention through and imagining the spine as a silver cord. Just pulsating, glimmering in the light. Just from this silver pillar of light, just begin to feel revolutions around it, and revolutions and revolutions and revolutions, just beginning to broaden, opening up, just beginning to feel your energy begin to fill the world, just beginning to feel the planets, the solar systems, everything beginning to revolve around this silver pillar. And then slowly, just allowing the mind to drift. And then as you take an inhale, just feel that you're taking in the strength of the world, fortitude, confidence, courage. As you exhale, just allowing all of this negativity, fear and anger to just dissipate out with the breath. Open the mouth, just get that out. Inhale through the nose. Breathing in, opening up, filling up even more. As you exhale, just allowing all of that negativity to come out. Bottom of the breath, just see if you can cough out a bit more. Get that out. No space for it in the body. And fill that up. Bringing in confidence, bringing in fortitude, bringing in courage. Just meeting all of that. As you exhale again through the mouth gently. Bottom of the breath, just let all of that fear and anger, get that out. Nothing left. Fill the emptiness. Fill that with fortitude, confidence, courage, just breathing in. And then as you exhale, slowly releasing the breath. Blinking open the eyes. Perhaps just shaking things off a little bit. So remember, the breath is the gateway. The gateway to awareness, the gateway to the centering, the gateway to you. And it's a very, very powerful thing. So it's not the right class for it right now, but there are many, many ways that you can learn about your own breath and the potential for the breath. And we'll be doing one exercise in yogic, what's it called? In Sanskrit, the pranayama. It's very important to understand what prana is. Prana is the human energy. In the same way, I guess, chi and mana from the Polynesian languages, right? These are all forms of living energy. And it's very important to remember that we can increase our energy. So pranayama means the extension of energy. But more importantly, it also means the control of energy. You want to be very, very careful about how you use your energy, because it's precious. Right? So by maintaining positive thoughts, we're now not feeding the negativity with our energy, because it's just those habits. They're like little vampires. They keep sucking on you and taking away from your energy. Right? So you don't want to feed the wrong vampires. Feed the good ones, if there are such things. Okay, so now that we've gone through that a little bit, we're going to move into our exercise. And again, that silver cord meditation, it starts building up on the energy of the spine. Now, as we go deeper into our Nadi Shona, I'm going to ask you to start focusing on each side of the body. And then I'll talk you through it, so don't worry. For those of you who weren't here yesterday, so Nadi Shona is alternate nostril breathing. And alternate nostril breathing allows you to start balancing off the left side and the right side of your body. Not only physically, but also the nervous system. And why is that? Because we tend to have a dominant side, and over time, we become more and more dependent on that dominant side. So Nadi Shona allows us to work much like we do with barbells, the separate muscles, but this time of the chest. So in this portion, part where you can feel yourself up a little bit, if you put your hands just on the small of the ribs, on the floating ribs, and they're called floating because they don't really go all the way. They're sort of just there. If you hold that and just feel for the muscles beneath that, and you can notice that even as you're talking or as you're breathing, it starts moving, right? See if you can bring that motion on the next inhale around to the palms of the hands. So now it's at the very, very base of the palms. See if you can get a little bit more inhaling. See if you can draw it and start expanding even through the sides, as if you're expanding through your exhale. Now, very important, just allow all of the breath out. You don't want to hold any of that carbon in, right? Or that fear and anger. Inhaling, just beginning to broaden through, the diaphragm begins broadening, and that is the main muscle, right? The part that draws down and creates space. As you exhale, see if you can push a little bit more so that you're really squeezing out. Okay. And slowly let go. Now, the other principle, so aside from the muscles down here, I want to start working on the muscles up here. And you're going to place your hands one palm on top of the other and place it right on the heart. Now, I want you to remember when you're doing breathing exercises, you don't want to lift from the heart. So by placing the hands here, it reminds us to remain still. But I want you to think of this as the true center. Right? The true center of the universe. That the spine connects up and through and innervates this area. So as you inhale, I want you to feel as if your upper chest, side chest, and upper back expand around the palms of the hand. So they're going around and really broadening, almost like you're inflating this balloon to the top of the chest. As you exhale, open the mouth. Inhale again through the nose. This time, exhale through the nose. Lift the pelvic muscles, draw the belly in, squeeze the front of the body back, but keeping the hands still. Everything deflating. And then inhale again. Just growing with the breath into the back muscles, finding the outside muscles and pulling that space open except the heart remains still. Exhaling, closing. One more time, one last time. Inhaling, expanding. And then as you exhale, lifting the pelvic muscles, drawing the belly in, diaphragm lifts, everything out. There. Releasing the breath. Okay. So, let's work on the Nadi Shona. And the question is, why do we do all of this? Why? Here's the thing, right? You have more potential than you know. You're not even close to it. Now, can I see what the potential is as another person? Honestly, I don't know what your story is, but I do know that there's more. I know there's more, and part of this is so that you can start searching inside, so you can find what that more is. And in all honest truth, there's nothing to be scared about going a little bit deeper. It's all beautiful. It's all good in there. Anyway, so let's go. Nadi Shona. Back to the alternate nostril breathing. So remember those patterns of breathing that we just went through? Try to apply those even as I get a little bit more technical. If you're having problems trying to transfer the breath side to side, don't worry about it. Just breathe with both lungs. The more you practice, the easier things become. And that's in general. Whatever that is. Okay, index finger, middle finger, into the middle of the thumb, sorry, middle of the palm. And the elbow, right elbow comes into the chest. Bring the palm right in front of you. So you can see on there. Okay, so instead, remember the head comes to the palm. So you just nod your head forward. Index finger and pinky finger on the left. Thumb on the right. Index finger. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be moving my head. My own instructions. So close the right. Close the left. Just feel for that. And then closing your eyes, keep both open first. Nodding the head forward. Just take one breath through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Everything out. Now, close the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Just reminding ourselves, like yesterday, exhaling through the right. Close the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the left. Close the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the right. Close the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the left. Close the left nostril. Inhale through the right. And keep the eyes closed. No? Exhale through the right. Close the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the left. And release for a second. So, commercial break. You have, traditionally, for those of you who are interested in traditional counting, usually it's 12 counts. 12, so 24 basically, because you're going back and forth. Traditionally, they use the pad of the finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in an inward spiral, and that becomes your counting. For classes like this, and if you're a teacher and you're interested in teaching pranayama, do 6. I find that 6 instead of the full 12, so half a palm of breathing exercises. I find that that is a little bit easier, no, for everyone. And if you want to start your own practice, start with 6, but you can work all the way to 12. Okay. Second round. So this is going to be the sort of lightning round in the sense that we're going to go into a cross nostril, and then we're going to start inflating and deflating the sides of our chest separately. And if, like I said, if you have difficulty initially, don't worry about it. It's just you. It's just breathing. But eventually, you'll be able to find quite big differences. Okay. So, bringing the hand back into position, elbow is in the... You can either support it or you can place your hand on the knee, whichever is more comfortable. Again, nothing strict too much. So thumb, index finger, middle finger in the middle, and bringing the head to the hand. Before you close the nostrils, take a large inhale through the nose. Even more. As you exhale, just exhaling through the nose again, dropping the head even more. And then closing the left nostril, inhale through the right. Closing the right nostril, exhale through the left. Inhaling left nostril, close the left nostril, exhale through the right. Inhale right nostril into the pit of the belly, into the diaphragm, into the chest. Close the right nostril, exhale through the left. Just allowing all of the air to come out. Now, inhaling through the left, one last time, just going in. Close the left nostril, exhale through the right. Now, as you inhale through the right nostril, try to expand only the right side of the body. And the secret is to keep the left side still. Close the right nostril, exhale the right side of the body, the right lung, everything out through the left. There. Inhale left nostril, left lung. Just feeling only the left side open up. And then slowly closing the left nostril, exhale through the right. Right nostril, so the left side exhales through the right. Inhaling, right nostril, right side. Closing the right nostril. Exhaling, right side into the left nostril, just all the way out. Lifting the pelvic muscles gently, pulling the belly in, diaphragm lifts, everything out. Inhaling, left nostril, left side. Closing the left nostril. Exhaling, left side of the body, left lung, right nostril. Again, just pressing very gently on the edges of the nostril, of the crease on the nostril. Now, inhale, right side, but going to the left. See if you can use the left body to expand and keep the right side still. Close the right nostril. Exhale, left side of the body, left lung, left nostril. Again, just visualize, the body will follow. Inhaling, left nostril into the right side. So you're crossing it across to the side of the body, into the right back, into the right upper chest. Closing the left nostril. Exhale, right side, right nostril. Inhaling, right side, right nostril, left side. And then closing the right nostril, exhale, left side, everything out. And then release the hand. Keeping the eyes closed for the meantime, just begin to feel the left side and the right side of the body, perhaps giving it a bit of a sway. Bringing it back to center. Now, bring the hands in front of you. Blink open the eyes. Touch the thumb to the pinky finger and ring finger. And again, a mudra is an intersection of energy. It's something that you can put your focus on. And so just pressing this, and this is pran mudra. Pran mudra is the mudra for a great life. It's the energy mudra for good energy and positivity, right? So let's touch these two, bring it to our hands, to our thighs, support it, bring the shoulder blades back a little bit, closing the eyes, and just reaffirming, again, coming back into our reaffirmation, fortitude, courage, and confidence. I have the fortitude, courage, and confidence. I have the fortitude, the courage, and confidence to achieve what is meant for me. And the universe has something for you. And it's unfolding as it should. Blinking open the eyes, just so I tried to write down. It's funny because when you put it up like this and you see it, it's the other way around. You are the center of the universe. It's really, for me, it just changed the way I started looking at things. It doesn't mean it's self-centered. No, it just means that ultimately you're responsible for the outcome of your life, right? That things should swirl around you and not around you swirling around others. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to work on extreme focus. We're going to start boiling down things so that we can actually look at one thing and one thing only. And when we start doing that, we then start learning new things about this thing because we are able to create and direct energy. And just like I mentioned earlier, prana can be directed, prana can be given, but be very careful. Human energy is a very precious thing. Your human energy is more precious than any other. So keep that in mind. Find your happiness in this life Find all that you are about. Find your potential in case I don't see you tomorrow or we don't see you through there. We try to, it doesn't, for me, I'm trying to get you to find a practice. I'm trying to get you to find something that will make your life more. Now, whether or not that's through yoga or urban ashram or whatever floats your boat, right? That's yours. But in the end, find something and find out more about yourself. To close, again, always good to have it. Whether the practice is 5 minutes or whether the practice is 25 or an hour or the whole lifetime of practice, it's best to close with something, a sense of the sacred perhaps, because you are a sacred creature. Place your hands in front of your chest. The thumbs touch the heart, just reminding yourself about the center. And if you wish, you can keep a small space in the middle of the thumbs, another mudra, where to remind us that we are empty vessels, willing to be filled with knowledge and with light. So pressing the hands together, we're going to say one Om, and if you'd like to join me, otherwise it's all good. Again, just a short O and bring the inside because it is about yourself. So taking a deep breath through the nose. And just bowing your head, just allowing yourself to be grateful for the energy that you put in. And with that, have the best week ever, have the best day ever. And no matter what happens, again, remember, we can change outcomes. Namaste. Salamat kayo. So thank you everyone, and maraming salamat po. And I do hope that everything works out well today. Thank you. And Rhonda, there. You want to say goodbye? She's completely bored by me by now. She's heard this too many times, right? Okay, guys.